I want to grow my Instagram stories, but I absolutely have no idea how. I constantly post on my feed and I thought a lot of it would translate to my stories, but it's not, and I don't understand why I'm not getting any more views. Have you constantly had this question? Are you looking to increase the amount of reach and engagement that you receive on your Instagram stories? Today we're going to be talking about just that. Stay tuned and find out how. When it comes to Instagram story reach, on average, most accounts have an Instagram story reach of less than 10% of their total following. Meaning if you have 10,000 followers, you're going to get an average reach rate below 1,000 people watching your story on any given day. And this isn't because you're not having a quality following. This simply means that you're not using Instagram stories in the way it was meant to be used. You need to be taking full advantage of this tool, not only to increase your engagement, strengthen your bonds, but also increase sales and increase your overall influence, both of which are going to allow you to bring in a more passive income and a more residual income. But today we're going to be going over just exactly how you're going to be doing that. Building an Instagram story following is very tough and it's a lot of work, but together I know we can do it. So the first thing you're going to want to take a look at is your Instagram stats and analytics. Now this is only open to Instagram accounts that are specifically a business profile, but if you're an influencer or you're a business or you're even trying to start a personal brand, I implore you to create a business profile. It just gives you a ton of access to different features that a personal account is not normally allowed to have access to. So I really implore you to do that. But once you have one of those created, you'll actually be able to see your Instagram story stats as well as your Instagram feed stats. But one important feature that you guys want to be looking at is the actual time of engagement. On your Instagram stats, you'll be able to see your overall follower activity. Peak times of engagement are usual times of when there's a large number of your following that is on and interacting with your content. That being said, when it comes to posting to your Instagram stories, the nice thing is any new post will be pushed to the top of the Instagram Explore page in front of all older Instagram story posts on the platform. So your followers will be able to see your post right away during those peak hours, which means an increased amount of views and an increased amount of engagement. Posting at these peak times is absolutely crucial, and that's what's going to get them hooked onto your Instagram stories. Because once you have them hooked on peak times, they'll actually go on and check out your story on off times when they're not necessarily going to be checking the platform, but are a little bit intrigued by your content as well as your Instagram stories and your consistency. So they're going to take the step to follow through. When it comes to Instagram stories, content is crucial, but you don't want to get caught up on perfectionism. And what does that mean exactly? You don't want to negate yourself from posting content on Instagram just because it doesn't meet your very, very high standards of quality. Now, when it comes to an Instagram feed, quality is absolutely crucial. This is something that's going to stay there essentially for the rest of your Instagram lifetime. But when it comes to Instagram stories, it only has a 24-hour lifespan, meaning that the content that you post on there is going to be deleted within 24 hours. So quality should not be paramount to posting. Don't let it come down to very terrible quality. You still want to have a standard of basis that's high because most people on Instagram are expecting quality content. But you don't have to go for the 4K high def resolution, extremely edited photo. Just use natural kind of candid content, whether it be just showing the back office or what you guys are doing for your business or brand that day, or maybe even as an influencer, what you're eating for that meal or lunch. Just showing your actual daily life is how the Instagram stories, in my opinion, is the best way to increase that connection and increase your overall views, because it's an Instagram story. You want to tell a story. Tell the story of your Instagram account. Tell the story of your life. Tell the story of your brand. Give the followers and following of your account something to look forward to. They want to look at your Instagram account and your Instagram story kind of like a soap opera for your brand or a soap opera for your influencer life. Just giving them a glimpse into that is really going to strengthen that connection between brand and business, influencer and follower, thus allowing you to increase the overall amount of views. So when it comes to Instagram story content, don't sacrifice quantity for quality, but don't let your quality go so far that people are absolutely petrified of your content. Still keep to a standard of basis that's fairly high, but don't let it inhibit you from posting. When it comes time to post your content to your Instagram stories, it's essential that you're using either a hashtag or a location tag. Hashtags are able to build followings as well as communities around them. Utilizing a hashtag in your Instagram story content is going to allow your content to be pushed to those hashtag stories, thus increasing your overall reach and exposure to individuals that might have never found your account before. Not only that, with location tags, you get a better saturation of your local environment and your local following. If you're an influencer in a specific city or state, try adding those actual locations to your content. Same thing with a business or brand. Implementing your content into these locations are going to allow people in your local area to actually find you, and they might actually have a better sense of connection because you both already have a shared common interest, being that location, being that restaurant. And finding those people in that location is probably going to benefit your brand or your influence, because those individuals, although they might not share the exact same interests as your niche or account, they might have a specific interest in that, or they might just have a small interest in that, thus allowing you to still gain them into your following and hopefully convert them over time and build a stronger relationship with them as you start to introduce more content. Finally, for the last tip for Instagram stories to increase your overall reach, it's very nice and actually a great way to increase overall engagement by including questions and polls. Polls allow you to get data for your followers by kind of asking them questions about maybe even content types of products they'd like to see, or even types of content that they'd like to see. You can use simple yes, no. What's nice about those polls is that you can actually fill those buttons with whatever you'd like. So it doesn't have to be just a yes, no answer. You can also do like emotions where you fill it with emoticons to see how the actual follower is feeling emotionally to your content. That's a great way if you're trying to kind of understand the psyche of your customer and or your following, which you can then use to kind of build into your content strategy just to make your content that much more refined. When it comes to the questions, this is better for influencers and or brands, because what you can do is get your following to actually ask questions about you, maybe your content or your actions, and then you actually answering them on your Instagram story so you can show the answer. This is what's going to allow you to really strengthen that relationship that we keep talking about between brand and consumer, or even influencer and follower. Kind of implementing these polls and questions are a great way to better understand your audience, to collect very crucial data that you can implement into your content strategy to kind of refine it and to make it more efficient, and to really strengthen that relationship. So guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Make sure to put all these practices to use. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the section down below. I'll be answering them all. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscribe button. Each subscriber is very crucial to us, and we appreciate all of your support. So guys, that's it for today. Make sure to keep hustling and stay tuned.